So you're looking for a new sleeping bag and you need help picking one out. I'm Ben with MotoCamp Nerd, and I'm here to help you figure out which bag works best for you. So number one is, what temperature will you be camping in? Figure out the lowest temperature range or the lowest temperature area from spring to fall or whatever your camping season is. Figure out that lowest temperature, because that's going to help us figure out what the temperature of the sleeping bag rating needs to be for you. But keep in mind that the ratings you see advertised are actually 90% of the time the lower limit instead of being the comfort. Now, what I tell people is add 10 degrees to whatever you see advertised, because that's going to give you the actual comfort rating for sleeping. Keeping in mind that comfort rating is based off of you having a insulated sleeping pad and wearing all of your base layers. Number two is going to be the shape and the style in the bag. And I encourage people to, when they pick a sleeping bag, get the one that's comfortable, not just a mummy bag or whatever packs the smallest, because sometimes you may end up sacrificing some of your comfort for pack size. Now, mummy style sleeping bags are going to pack smaller, and they're going to be more efficient at keeping you warm than like a relaxed style bag. But a lot of people don't like mummy bags because they're a little bit too tight, which that gets us into the relaxed style of bags. Now, that can be a relaxed mummy, or it could be something like Nemo has their spoon-shaped bags. So again, it's a relaxed fit style of sleeping bag. Now, these are a great in-between because you still have less material and less fabric to deal with than a bigger, bulkier, full-size, square kind of bag. Also, with a relaxed bag, you're going to have a little bit more dead space, but it's also nice because now you have room to shove your clothes in, and that's usually what I do. Is I'll put my clothes in my foot or pack it around in the areas that it has cold spots, and that'll help fill in some of that space. And another thing with the relaxed style bags, some of these are designed so you can sleep sideways in it, versus a mummy bag, you're supposed to roll with the sleeping bag. These relaxed bags give you the opportunity to turn inside and sometimes even roll inside the sleeping bag. Quilts and blankets are probably the best up and coming thing. Now, blankets are more for the warmer weather because they don't have all the features of a quilt where it can tuck around you to hold all that air in. Now, you can tuck it around you manually, or maybe if you're even sleeping in a hammock, blankets even better. But the quilts and the blankets are going to pack a lot smaller. Now, quilts and blankets don't have a hood and they're open back. So keep that in mind when you get into colder weather. You're going to want something to put on your head to help retain that heat. The biggest pro to these are they pack smaller and lighter. There's a lot less material because you don't have the hood, you've got the open back, and these pack really small. Number three is picking between down and synthetic. Down packs smaller, lighter, and has better insulating properties than synthetic does. Down does come from ducks and geese, so some people may have an allergy problem, and it is a higher price point item, so that may be something to consider as well over synthetic. Now, synthetic is made from polyester, and it's strands and kind of like a fluff material, and it can be in sheets, it can be in clumps, it can be in different various ways. Every type of manufacturer has their own proprietary way of doing things, but traditionally it doesn't pack as small and doesn't compress as much as down does, and it doesn't insulate as well as down does. But the pro to synthetic is it's a little bit cheaper, and when it gets wet, it's a little bit easier to dry out. Now, once you've picked the temperature, the shape, if you went down or synthetic, really it's going to come down to the pack size and the price point. And I've kind of put these two together because a lot of the materials, cheaper materials, are going to pack larger. More expensive, lighter materials are going to pack smaller and lighter. So the price point is going to be a little bit higher for those. Sleeping bags use anything from nylon and polyester to just nylon or just polyester. Polyester is going to be a little bit thicker material. It's going to be a little bit heavier. Nylon is going to be lighter and thinner, so it's going to be a lot smaller packing. Now, you can't really control the difference between a 0-degree bag and a 50-degree bag on pack size. Obviously, the 50-degree is going to pack a lot smaller. The 0-degree is going to pack much larger. A couple of things you can do, though, is you can look into sleeping bags. Like the Big Agnes has the 3-in-1. It is 2 sleeping bags all together that make it a variable range sleeping system. So that bag attaches to the pad, and then you have another inner bag that's more of a relaxed mummy bag. And adding those together gets you into a 15-degree rating, whereas if you just use the outer one by itself, it's like a 40-degree bag. Good for summer, and you can reduce your pack size. See, the Summit has the quilt lock system, where you can use multiple bags or different bags with a quilt and layering a quilt on top of your sleeping bag. Again, you can get a higher value or a warmer temperature quilt and a warmer temperature bag, but then layering those two together to get you down into a lower temperature area. So if you're only camping in warmer weather and then you need a colder weather bag at some point in time, you can upgrade and then layer those two together. And one other thing on price point is the features. A lot of the bags with higher name brands are going to be lifetime warranty. They're going to have a treated duck or goose down in it, so that way the down is hydrophobic and it's not going to get wet with a lot of humidity, sweat, or moisture in the air. It's not going to clump up, and if it does get wet, it's going to dry out really quick and easy. On the cheaper brands, they're not going to have that type of quality down. It may not be an RDS certified down, and the materials that they use, it may not have a DWR treatment on the outside of the bag, or the fabric may just be a lower quality fabric. And again, with baffle construction as well with down, the way the baffles are constructed in the sleeping bags help the down from moving around. And a higher quality name brand, they've been doing this for a long time. They know how to design and engineer a bag so that way the down stays in place and you don't have clumping and falling into certain areas. Other brands may not have this experience, and so you may have bags with a less than ideal down and baffle construction. Now, after you narrow down these filters, that should pretty much break it down to only a few bags out there that would be what you're looking for. And if you ever have any questions on those, or if you need help picking out a bag, feel free to reach out. We're here to help you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you around the campfire.